Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing this morning? I think it's actually afternoon, almost close to for me. I gotta be at work in a couple hours. Just waking up, having my morning thoughts, my morning coffee, my morning herb, and realizing some things. I'm getting ready to embark on a part of my journey that's probably going to be very difficult for me. Who knows? I might be vlogging more on this next part of my journey than I ever probably have vlogged before in my life. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's going to help me. And I'm going to tell you that I did make a post on my community page. I always own up to what I do. I made a post on my community page basically saying I was going to back off of YouTube and social media, and for the most part I am. I am going to track what's going on in my personal life with videos. And some of those videos I will publish and some I won't. I've given up sugar. I gave up soda. I can't say sugar. I gave up soda, which is a big part of sugar intake. Because that's all sodas are, basically, is sugar. I haven't really dropped any pounds, but I feel like I'm dropping inches. I feel like I'm dropping a lot of things in a lot of ways. And not necessarily all a physical, literal item, you know. A lot of things that I feel like I'm releasing are internal things. I'm releasing a lot of things. I'm accepting a lot of things. I've sat here and had a conversation with myself because I already know what to expect because I've been through it before. I'm getting ready to embark on giving up nicotine for good. 100%. Going to walk away from it. Now, that's another reason why I'm making this video, to hold myself accountable. Like I said, I made an accountability to self the other day. I've got 4 of these vapes left. They're all basically low on juice. They've already reached the 0% mark. But this specific brand, once the juice gets down to a certain point where it reaches the 0% mark, there's still juice left in the container for you to receive more hits off of it. It's not completely dead yet, basically. So basically that's what I'm doing, is I'm utilizing these vapes until they're completely dead. Once they're completely dead, and you basically know when they're completely dead because of the sound that they make and a taste that you might have. I toss it. So I got 4 left. Once these are gone, that's it. I'm not purchasing another vape. I didn't purchase a new vape last week, which on payday, which was Thursday, and on the 4th, and I didn't purchase one this go around on the 11th. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But basically what I was saying is this. Once I completely quit that and have nothing else to do, well, for one, my idle hands, you know, that's going to be a problem, because that's the problem with nicotine addiction, is the hand-to-mouth aspect of things. So usually when most people quit cigarettes or nicotine or whatever, they eat a lot because of that hand-to-mouth feature. And so then they gain weight. So then they just like, oh, well, I'd rather smoke cigarettes, this way I'm not so fat, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's truly an excuse. Because honestly, what I foresee happening is a detox. And that's what is happening, is your body is detoxing all the chemicals that you put into your body through the way of cigarettes or by the way of these nicotine vapes. Now, I smoked cigarettes for many, many years. When these vapes first came out, I wasn't too impressed with them. Because they had limited flavors, I guess. But as the market grew, more flavors came available, more brands, more designs, etc., came available. In 2019 is when I think was the vape was first basically introduced to me. In 2019, when I was working in Oregon at Jackson's, we carried them, and that's Juuls. That was the big thing. Juuls and Enjoys. Those were like our two most popular sellers, and then they had the Vuses. So, anyhow, I still have one of these, and it's like just a golden tobacco flavor. Once it's gone too. But I'm trying to use all my flavored ones up first, and then that'll be the last one to go. So yeah, I'm gonna basically, I got it introduced to the nicotine vapes in 2019. And then my daughter basically gave up cigarettes and just took up the vape. Well, I was kind of, the only reason why I got onto the vape was because once I started living in my apartment 3 years ago, 2021, I was a cigarette smoker, but cigarette smoking wasn't allowed in the apartment, and I lived upstairs. It was 25 steps down to the main street to where I could go outside, before I could go outside, completely outside, to have a cigarette. And so I basically bought a vape for supplementing that. So I would only vape on the inside, and then when I was outside, I would smoke cigarettes. So then I realized that I wasn't smoking as much actual cigarettes. So I eventually just gave the cigarettes up and went to vaping flavored vapes 100%, at the time. I felt like, what, that's good. I gave up cigarettes. I don't smell like cigarettes anymore. My car, my clothes, any of that. I don't smell like cigarettes at all. I might smell a little like weed on occasion, but I don't smell like cigarettes. And I do have to say that since I haven't actually smoked a real cigarette since last June, I think it was, is when I gave them up. I do feel better in certain instances, but then there's other ways that I don't feel as good. I cough more, I think. I think I'm tired more. I just don't feel like I have a lot of motivation, and a lot of it could be because of these chemicals in these vapes. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that most of what is in these vapes isn't as good for me as, an actual cigarette would probably be better for me than what's in these vapes. But I'm not going to go back to cigarette smoking, and I'm not going to continue on with vapes. I'm going to give it up completely, 100%. And it's probably going to take me about 3 weeks to detox my system. But in the meantime, once I detox, it's something that I can look back on and say that I'm strong. I walked away from it, and I know I can because of all my past life experiences in this current life, in the last 15 years of this life, all the experiences that I've had, and am aware of. That Daryl and I created together. We create our future. We create our present moment. We create experiences to happen, to learn from, we do it all and we don't even realize that we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of strange. But I'm aware of this. I'm aware of it. It's like I'm aware of these things. So, and I'm also aware because I have tried to give up nicotine before. I've tried to stop cigarettes before in my past, when I was younger. Different times throughout my past, I've tried to give it up. And it always creeps in. I might make a day. I might, because, I think one time I made it as long as 10 days. I was actually wearing a nicotine patch. But what drove me crazy about it was my hands was too idle. When I was at work, everything was cool because my hands was busy doing something. But when I was at home alone, that was when the temptations increased. And eventually I just broke down and went back to smoking cigarettes. So I know my ego's going to tell me that it's okay. I know that it's going to creep in and say, Candy, it's okay. So what if you have this vice? Everybody has vices. Well, yeah, there are people out there that don't smoke but might drink or do some other kind of drugs or something, everybody does have a vice usually of some shape, form, or fashion. And some people's vices is the social media as well. That's even an example. It's a vice. All I know is for my personal path, because this is all about me, it's my journey, my path, and my life, and how I encounter and handle situations along that path, But I am going to do it. And so if I come on here and just ramble and talk a lot, even if it's like a bad day and I'm just ranting and raving, and well, expect it because my body's going to be detoxing from nicotine and all these other chemicals. But I am going to say this. Once my body's detoxed 100% of that and that habit of mine is completely gone and out the window and in the garbage, never to return, never to enter this house again, I know internally I'm going to feel better. And I know that's going to give me the energy and boost that I need to get in more to a physical regime. In fact, that's another thing is when I get those temptations of wanting a cigarette or a puff off the vape, well, I'll either, more than likely, I'm going to probably puff more of this when I'm here. Or if I get tempted to want to puff a, vape or something, but if I don't have it, it'll make it a lot easier. Get to exercising or go take a walk around the block or take a bottle of water and drink half of it all in one sip, breathe, anything. There's going to be so many things that I can utilize to my advantage. And that's the good thing about it, is I'm giving up one thing, but I'm looking ahead at all the things I'm going to accomplish and achieve by giving up one thing. And there's this part of me that is happy. And there's this part of me that's sad. Because like every vice out there, some kind of emotion is associated with it. Why did it become a vice in the first place? Why did it become something that we became addicted to? Like me, I was 14 years old when I first tried cigarettes. And I was doing it just to look cool. I grew up with a dad that smoked. You know, my mom, she's never smoked a day of her in her life. But I grew up with a dad that smoked cigarettes. I never really wanted to try them. I never could see the fascination in them, even though I asked a lot of questions about them and like how old he was and stuff like that. You know, when he first started, I think my dad was like 12 when he first started cigarettes. And he smoked them up until the day he died, which he was 53 when he died. So he smoked for 41 years. I'm creeping up on 37 years, I guess, of completely being addicted. I first tried them when I was 14. I never really inhaled, though, because I knew if I inhaled, I'd get addicted. And I didn't want to get addicted. I just wanted to fit in. You know, I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be one of the cool kids, you know. My parents, of course, found my cigarettes. They talked to me about it. They basically said that they felt like I was doing it just so I could fit in with the crowd. And they were true. They were right. And I still continued to just keep cigarettes on me. And if I went out dancing or something like that, it was more of just a social kind of thing. But I never truly inhaled and physically craved them. It was more of a mental and social thing that cigarettes started out for me to be. But when I was 18 years old, I met my first husband. He was a smoker. He was kind of shocked by how much I didn't truly smoke and claim to be a smoker, because he was a pack and a half a day kind of guy. And my pack of cigarettes would last me like a whole week. You know what I mean? So he eventually said something to me about it. He eventually said, you know, the only reason why you don't smoke as much as you normally, as I do, is because you're not really addicted to cigarettes. You don't inhale cigarettes. This is what I said. I could inhale cigarettes and still not get addicted and walk away from it whenever I want. I said that when I was 18 years old. And like a big person, I took a big drag off of that cigarette. And now here I am, almost 55 years old, and walking away from it. And I am going to walk away from it. I have to walk away from it. How can a person who claims to be awake and wanting to improve their physical body, their mental mind, not want to walk away from something that's toxic for them? People talk about walking away from toxic energy, from other people that are toxic because of people's toxic energy. Start detoxing your own body. That's where it starts. Everything starts within us, because when it comes down to it, truly, it is all about us. Nobody can control us unless we allow them to. We are in control of ourselves. And we are in charge of this and this. And it all works in correlation together. And if you're in the right mindset, you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, if you have the heart to do it. Well, after everything I've been through in my life, after losing a karmic relationship, a soulmate relationship, and a twin flame relationship, and losing my father, and all these other people in my life, and looking back and seeing exactly what all those things meant for me, and why they had to be to bring me to where I am today. Every event that I've ever partaken of in my life has led me to where I am right here, right now. Just like with all of you, every experience that you've had up to this point has made you who you are, regardless if that experience is positive or negative. It's all about perspective. All about perspective. Anyway, this video is basically just me telling y'all and making a video accountability for myself that I will be giving these up. Today is Friday, April 12th. That one's almost dead. Today's Friday, April 12th, so I would probably venture to say by Monday, the 15th of April, that would be a good day for me to start. It would be Monday, April 15th. That's tax day. Why not? So I'm going to say by starting on Monday, April 15th, I will no longer ingest nicotine in my body. I'm giving it up. And it should take me 3 weeks, so that would mean basically the early part of May, I'll be completely smoke-free, tobacco-free, nicotine-free. So yeah. I kind of feel good about it because, even though I'm sitting here thinking, it's not really that far away, and life only gives you one day at a time, so if I can just make it through one day at a time for 3 weeks, then I think I'll accomplish my goal. And more than likely, I'll probably make a video every day just to help keep my sanity as well in the mix of things. So, even though I claim I'm going to get off social media, and I eventually will, Facebook I could care less about. Nobody talks to me there anyway. And nobody really talks to me here either, even though I will say this to those that are listening and to those that know me. I have met a couple people here off of YouTube, and I have connected with them behind the scenes, so to speak. Those people, you got my number, you know what I mean, and you got my email address, so we definitely will probably still stay in contact even if I get off social media completely altogether eventually. Because that's what it is to me about. To me, this social media thing was always just more of a way to connect with others out in the world. Because sometimes those that are in your own immediate world and community you don't connect with, I'm running on about 23 minutes here, and I'm getting ready to go to work. So y'all have a blessed day, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye for now.